in the building. This is a sound check. In the building, this is a sound check, unapologetically QI. Uno momento. Salute, 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 salute. It is unapologetically QI entering the building. All right, and salute to all that enters the building. Salute to all that hits that replay. Replay value is very important. And y'all don't forget to smash that like to put me in the algorithm, as well as subscribe if you haven't. And by all means, if you find my information important and valuable, by all means, share it. But today I'm here to talk about a trending topic in the political arena, and it is Roe versus Wade. Now, a lot of people may not know, if they don't keep up with politics, what Roe versus Wade is. But Roe versus Wade is the Supreme Court's decision to grant women the right to have an abortion. Now, I know. There are a lot of people out here that don't believe in abortions, right? And me, myself, personally, if it wasn't for other factors in which I'm going to break down, and let me just say, this is a quick, informative live. So I just want to run through a few viewpoints real quick on why abortion's rights are important. Women's rights are important, okay? Now let me give you a quick scenario. If you carry a baby for 9 months, right? If you carry a baby for 9 months and you have other children, right? And then upon the time of delivery, when you're entering among the time of, the delivery, the birth, you find out that there's a 85, 95% chance, let's even go down to 65, 75% chance that the baby may live, but you may lose your life. Now keep in mind, you're also the mother of other children. The question is, which life is more valuable? Keep in mind, we're in the think tank, and we're free thinkers, right? Which life is more valuable if a mother, and we're going to even add single, or maybe not, right? But she has other children, let's say 3 young children. And she finds out that if she continues with the delivery process, it may be her life or the baby. Which life do you feel may be more important? Now I'm gonna leave it to y'all to put that in the your answers or comments or your perspectives in the comment section. But I don't think a lot of people, when they're thinking about abortion, they think about sometimes the health risks associated when it comes down to the mothers, to the women. Now, there's another thing that we have to be very careful when it comes down to politics, and which is pretty much, we're in a patriarchal society. We have mostly men governing, the government governing us, making decisions on our behalf, right? And that's why women's health care is the poorest. That's why we still have people that are losing their lives due to ovarian and a lot of different women losing their lives to a lot of different, cancers and things. They have perfected Viagra, right? But most of the decision making is governed, pretty much by males, right? Who don't have the experience, who don't have the knowledge, who don't know. They're making decisions on the behalf of, the women, the mothers. Okay? Now, to be in servitude, that means that you can't make your own decisions. That means that other people make your own decisions. So my point in saying this is that once people start making decisions for you, you're no longer free. You no longer have rights. You're almost in servitude. Like right now with a lot of different states banning abortion, women have to either go to different states or, they have to suffer with consequences or beg. Women should be able to make, their own decisions, especially when it's their body. That's 9 months. That's 9 months of being uncomfortable, 9 months of maybe health factors, 9 months of maybe not being able to work and provide for the other children, 9 months of, putting your life aside. And then really, let's say, everybody is not meant to be a parent, right? And then we know what foster care and adoption, just like the situation with the white Caucasian people who adopted some black children and kept them in the shed and pretty much made them work the farm, right? That there are so many scenarios and situations like that when it comes down to foster care and different things. So sometimes we have to ask ourselves, although, everybody deserves a life, but do, we want to bring forth life of suffering? Now, I know that we should think about this beforehand, but not in all situations. It's not a situation of where somebody was attracted to a male, they laid down and, they got pregnant. In a lot of situations, it might be forceful. So it may not have been their choice. They may not have had the option of using protective tools or protective, like condoms and different things of that nature, right? So not in all cases is it that, people really have a choice, or women really have a choice. And then even still, if they had a choice, just say it was a situation of lust. Just say it was a situation where they may have, chosen the wrong partner or whatever, abusive partner. There are so many things that factor into whether or not, a woman is going to be able to produce a lifestyle of quality for those children, right? And are we so selfish that we want to bring children into a world of suffering? Not everybody is meant to have children. Not everybody is meant to be a parent. So I'm just like running a lot of these things across, people's minds. Remember, we're in the think tank. So I'm not trying to answer any questions or anything. I'm just trying to, present a different view, because I know a lot of us was raised religiously and different things, and we have a lot of different perspectives. But sometimes that's why debates are good, or having mature conversations are good, because we get to see all sides of the token. And that's why keeping an open mind sometimes is good, because it lets you see another person's point of view, whether you've experienced it or not, because experience is the greatest teacher. And sometimes we lack knowledge because we lack experience of, a certain thing or certain experience. And right now, Roe versus Wade, and shout out to Kamala Harris. Kamala, I hope I always mess up her name, Kamala Harris, for stepping up and trying to overturn a lot of the Republicans' decisions to ban abortion, because it's deeper than most think. Republicans are traditional, they old-fashioned, and they're and they're male-dominated, patriarchal. A lot of times they don't see all of these different things, right? So it's up to us as women to protect our rights, to stand up, for our lives. Because, without women, we can't bring forth generation after generation. When women are the whole portal of life, new life, generation. So if we're endangering all the women, then we have no new generation. Which means that life will possibly end on Earth. But at any rate, that's just, some of the things that, like some of the thought process that I wanted to bring forward. Because a lot of times we look at it from a closed-minded or a religious perspective, and sometimes we need to look at it from, like a 360 degree all perspectives in order to make the right decision. And that's why, like, men alone can't make decisions, for women. We need women on the forefront to help make decisions for us. Women who have experience, women with open minds. Because we, like our healthcare, we need, our healthcare, just like the missing women and children that, I've spoken about, before early on in some of my videos. There are a lot of things that matter to us, a lot of our safety issues at the forefront, and we really do need to press forward. And so we are entering upon election season, and this is one of the most critical. Because I remember Trump saying women will lose their rights. And if you look at the United Nations, they're talking about the Afghanistan, the Taliban is going to the United Nations on behalf of women's rights. Women's rights is a big thing right now, and I'm talking about all over the planet, worldwide. And while we're sitting here and letting a lot of these infiltrators come in who want to distract and detour us and different things like that, we really need to think about what's like without women, without the next generation, without the children, without a lot of things, then life no longer continues. We really need to think about what this looks like, the big picture, and make the right decision. So like I said, this is the think tank. It is QI, formerly known and also still known as critical thinking, as well as unapologetically QI. And I've been watching a lot of stuff that's been occurring on, the YouTube streets, and it's a lot of distractions. A lot of people are not thinking about the fact that we need to be focusing on politics and what's happening in the real world. We're focused on drama and, people having temper tantrums and, a lot of different things. And it's all for a deeper purpose. It's a part of the agenda to distract us, a part of the agenda to make us not like ourselves, to push for self-hatred and different things of that nature. So, like I said, leave things in the comment section. And like I said, I am going to I thought about doing it this month, but I'm not quite ready yet. Open up my panel. There's too much going on in the sector that I'm in currently. And when things fizzle out a lot more, then I will, be more than happy to open it up, because I like to have, engage in, in intellectual conversations. I like to hear different sides, different perspectives, and I even like, fair, open, and equal debates, especially when we don't take it so serious to the point where we want to hurt one another. So I'm working on all that, as well as other things, like I said, I found a direction on my channel, and it's free thinking, critical thinking, so that I can go in any direction I want to in terms of my thought process, the stuff I see, the stuff I want to bring forward, the stuff, that I feel like, sometimes we need to talk about, the things that you all want to talk about as well. Because if there's some stuff that you want to talk about, by all means, leave it in our comments, in the comment section. And, I'll be more than happy to do my research, and, we'll address it. I do have the capability of dropping the link. So if somebody wants to have a discussion on some topic, I can, do that. But, like I said, this is one of the most critical elections, and it's just a shame to see how, we're, especially for women in general, not just black women, not all women of all races. And so we really need to be paying attention and making the best decision for ourselves, because this can mean the difference between freedom and servitude. I'm going to take a few minutes to shout out the people in the building. Salute to dear self in the building. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Oh my God. Okay, I get you. Yeah, I dear self, I already knew you were going to come from that perspective. And I would like to have I don't know if you do intellectual debates or whatever, where we bring forth facts and truth or whatever, where we can get down to the root or the bottom of it to see. But I welcome, intellectual debates and different things like that, dear self. But, okay, so you said the baby. I was going to leave that because I want people to comment in the comment section. And, I just want to see where people's minds are at, right? But you said the baby, but who's going to take care of the baby? And like I said, the woman has other children too. Who's going to take care of those other children? And what is the quality of life going to be like for those children who have lost their natural born mother at birth? What do you think that baby who realizes that, they're going to feel grateful, but at the same time, I think that baby might carry some guilt And those other children might hold some guilt towards that one child. It's just a lot of different things that we have to look at. But I definitely, understand your perspective. I was once there myself. Well, not necessarily so. Like in the black community, especially I came from the black conscious community. A lot of times we like to separate women's rights down to like race or gender, but it's really not. Now, like the women's suffrage movement, in which they call the women's feminist movement, which that's not the true name of it or whatever. Um, we were not educated enough, or maybe we didn't have enough knowledge or whatever to like be able to put our issues up on the table. Just like now, like when it comes down to politics and us, black people, we don't demand, we don't make demands, and we don't realize that we hire these politicians and they work for us. We're their employees. And a lot of times we just complain and we don't, press forward any demands. And so like, if, like they say, a hungry mouth don't get fed. If you ask not, you receive not. And that's one of our biggest problems. And then, just like now, we're entering up on election time and we're paying attention to so many other things and not paying attention to real life, real world, like situations that impact us for life, and not just us, but generations to come. So it's like, in a lot of ways, we have to do better. And, like, I'm not even blaming them back then, but it's like we didn't know that there were certain things that we had to put on the table. And when it comes down to voting, an election, numbers count. Numbers count. When it comes down to getting funding or anything, numbers count. Like the census, numbers count. A lot of people don't do the census. They don't want to participate when it comes down to what governs us. And I don't care where you are on the planet, there's a government. Everybody has a government. Everybody has something governing them. So you're not going to be free or, just can do what you want to do. You're governed by, your tribal government. You're governed. And we live here, but we don't participate in our government. In a lot of ways, we deter people from participating in our government. And that's part of the problem. In your house, even as I don't want to say because y'all gonna, head of the house, whatever, right? But just say it was a single mother. That single mother is governing that household, those children. And if it was two-parent homes, those parents, the mother and father, are governing that household. Anywhere you go, there's governing. There's rules. There's governing. So there's no way to get away from the governing. And a lot of times we sit back, we don't participate, then we wonder why, like we're adverse. Because we're not participating. We just threw up our hands and we laid down and we're defeated. I refuse to be defeated. But at any rate, like I said, I welcome debates. And dear self, if this is one that you want to have, like I'll be, by all means, we can do our little research. And, we could have an intellectual debate. We can even find a moderator. So if that's something you're interested in, just let me know. Comment section or, whatever, let me know. Because either way it goes, we both can learn and we can both see all sides and all perspectives. It's nothing but a good thing. And then we're not going to be mad at each other. I don't want you to want to rip my head off or anything like that because, or whatever, like because, of our differences of opinion, differences of perspective, differences of intellectual thought. But, I just want to, like I said, leave things like to the, to everyone else, leave it in the comment section. And I just want to offer y'all food for thought. That's all. But like, it's definitely been a pleasure. Until next time, it is unapologetically QI exiting the building. Make sure y'all smash that like, subscribe if you haven't. Please smash that like button and share if you like my information. And like I always say, something goofy, right? Peace, love, hair grease, and all that. And we are out. Love. One.